Howdy doody do, people. It does feel like it's been a while since I've actually done a review, so I decided to nip down to the shops and just pick something at random from the LEGO selection, which just happened to be Rey's Speeder here. So quick look at the box. We've got this Knight of Ren person whose name escapes me right now. Oh no, wait, Kylo Ren, that's the one. And despite rumours to the contrary, I don't believe he's Luke Vader turned evil. That's just a bit on the silly side. Still, the movie's not that far off now. It's the 2nd of December as I film this. And you never know. It might just be a major plot point if it does turn out to be true. That we may have been deceived, that they hired one person to play the body part and then have Luke around for the unmasking. Who knows? I mean, after all, Darth Vader was played by how many different people? But let's take a look at the rest of the packaging here. We've got Rey on her speeder. We've got this fellow who answers to the name of Unkos Thug. So he doesn't have a name of his own, he's just some guy in what looks like chainmail. And then we've got all the usual stuff that you would expect. Repeated picture on the sides. Various stuff here, like there's apparently missile attacks, cargo, storage in either section. And there's Rey with a staff. And let's just see. Let's see here. A lot of people are suspecting that this staff weapon of hers is some sort of lightsaber type weapon. Now if you look here, you've got a gun with a lightsaber attachment, the hilt that they use in almost all LEGO Jedi characters. Whenever they have a lightsaber, they use that bit. And it looks like the design is being used and carried across to a degree on the staff. We'll be able to tell that better when we actually open it up. But yeah, speaking of which, let's just open it up. How many bags do you reckon? I'm thinking 2 bags for some reason. I'm using the force. I'm feeling 2 bags, yes. Ah, 1 bag, 2 bags, stickers and instructions. I was right again, wasn't I? Alright, I'll go put this bad boy together and see what's what. See you in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. And I've got to say, I'm quite impressed with this. It's a nice little set. It definitely looks a lot like what we see in all the trailers, and probably looks a lot like what we'll see for the finished product inside the actual movie itself. And it looks very, very nice. You've got the engines at the back here, some sort of air brake type system, I assume. Some sort of fins here and here. You know, you just pose them as you want. You've got a nice little driver's seat here, little joysticks and a token windscreen, which doesn't really do much, but it looks the part, kind of. We've got various salvage tools here. We've got binoculars, we've got a cutting saw, we've got a gun, and on the other side there's absolutely nothing. You could basically have some more stuff here. You could probably add additional hooks like these onto this side. There's nothing to stop you from doing that. It's just that they haven't provided them for you there. And you've got little blasting guns here, so obviously the ship, the skip, the speeder thing is actually defendable. It will actually defend itself and looks quite nifty. Also, if you twist the engine here, one way than the other, it will actually open the cargo bays up, and you can open them wider yourself, and then you get that little bit of cargo inside there, which kind of looks more like an engine, but you never know. There must be some sort of salvage box. You just close it like that, and like that. Also, if you have, for whatever reason, forgotten to actually attach the mechanism, it's quite easy to just get your thumb in and open it up like that anyhow. It's not entirely necessary, but you can see the mechanism is right there. It's quite a sophisticated little build, but quite an easy enough build to put together. And, you know, it really does look the part. As for Rey herself, well, if the autofocus will focus, sometime today, there we go, and the facial recognition has kicked in. You can see straight off the bat, yes, these are definitely black lightsaber attachments. So if this is actually supposed to be a lightsaber based weapon of some sort, then that's pretty much confirmed. The hairpiece is quite a nice piece as well. It looks, I've never seen any other LEGO character with that particular piece, so it may be unique to her, but you can never tell. Take it off, and she has a set and face at the back, a stern look there, and a happy look there. Put that down, and you've got the mask me as well. And there you go. Who are you? I'm no one. Yeah, sure you know one. Sure, we believe you. And then there's this fella, which there's not really much to say, except the autofocus doesn't want to focus. I can probably tell from the shininess. He's either a robot or somebody wearing a mask under a hoodie. No second face. But overall, quite a striking individual. He's got a standard monkey wrench type thing, but crowbar, whatchamacallit, but coloured differently. Back to Ray, and you can also see she's got a little bag here. Oh, you would if the autofocus wants to work. Never does. Let's just move out a little bit. There you go. Just literally slings all over her shoulder. You put that on first, and you put the head on, and it doesn't really get in the way much, but you know, you just can't move the arm that much. And the actual headpiece there is so large you can't get the arms over. Look, that's as much as she can surrender. There we go. And then finally getting her in the piloting position. It really makes the thing look complete. It's obviously not a perfect recreation of her outfit because there are obviously some slight gaps in some of the clothing. Not entirely sure why there's slight gaps in her clothing, because you know, if you're living on a sand planet you want to protect your skin as much as you can, but it's not exactly done in any way that looks sexual either. So unlike say Padme's ruined outfits in whichever prequel she wound up in, a white suit that wound up being strategically ripped off her without damaging her skin in any way, shape or form, but enough said of that. And even Leia's slave girl outfit was, you know, a bit of a writing coup. We all know the story behind that. If you haven't watched the movie, then obviously you won't know the story behind it, but hey ho, there you go. But yeah, that's quite a nice, clever little build. Looks just like what you expected it to look like, and it feels nice and light, but also quite solid. I'd have to say, if you do like Star Wars, and the chance are if you're watching this you do like Star Wars, then you're probably going to get this. Because it's something to do with Rey, something to do with a new movie, and I think she's going to be something of a fan favourite. She's not going to be the new Jar Jar. I don't think there's going to be a new Jar Jar. There's only one Jar Jar, and we're all quite happy for him to never, ever be mentioned ever again. But yeah, if you see this and you can get it on the cheap especially, grab it, because I think it's quite worthwhile. Nice little piece, quite unique. Oh, and one other thing I should mention, if you do actually use these guns here, feel free to go trigger happy, because you get quite a lot of spares